What is up, guys? Welcome to a brand new video. So today we're going to check out something new that's popped up recently. It was being played by Betsy a ton, who ended the season in the top 250 players in the US just with this pick, and he's doing really well with it now. Let me know what you think, and if you have any other weird picks you've found so far. Another done one friend of mine, actually MindPro, is telling me about this as well. It seems like it's catching on a lot more, and it's actually super strong, even though it sounds stupid. Quas was actually playing mid Nasus a little while ago, but as a tank, right? Maxing E, wave clear well, not get zoned out, and he used that to get Challenger on 2 accounts, I think. This is very different though. This is actually full AP, ability power Nasus, like legit full AP, but it's smart. It makes sense. This is actually working all the way in the Master and Challenger games. If you play it right, like we're going to talk about in the video, it could be something really good to abuse and have some fun with. The build is actually Corrupting Potion to start, Dark Seal, Frost Queen's Claim, Ludens, Liandry's, Void Star, then either Death Cat, Medjai's, or Zizira. It's not really about stacking your Q at all. Like, sure, it kind of helps to add some damage later, but you're basically playing for your E damage and poke from range. You're actually not going to auto attack much at all. Your E is going to be used for wave clearing and farming in the lane phase. Also poke if you can aim it to hit everything. It's super hard to punish him because he's going to be deleting waves pretty early into the game. This really works because of two things actually. The ultimate changes, which gives you a lot of bonus health, armor, and you also deal magic damage to everybody around you. Your E is also pretty busted at the moment. It deals magic damage, 60% AP ratio on the initial damage, plus 60% on the damage over time, with a very high base damage on both. All you're going to do is play this a lot like Lux. Use your E from range, wait for the cooldown with the people near you, and kite to spam over and over and over. You can see it works on the screen, but a lot of people are probably going to call me a troll, so let's go over some of the stuff that makes this so good. With the standard build that I talked about with Ludens, Liandry's, Void Star from Frost Queens, that's going to be 310 AP, considering you have no Medjai stacks, no Dark Seal stacks. Your E alone, rank 5, is going to look like 400 initial damage, 400 over time, so that's 800 damage, plus 100 from Ludens, plus the Liandry's burn from 1E on a roughly 9-second cooldown. That's like almost 1,000 damage probably just from your E. And then you have your ultimate. You have the defensive side, right? You extra 600 health. 600 health, by the way. 55 armor and magic resist straight away. You get 100 extra of each armor and magic resist over the duration as well. But the damage is so underrated though. It's 15 seconds and it deals 5% plus 1% extra per 100 AP per second. With just these items and no stacks or anything like that, it's 8% of their max health now per second. And over the duration, it would technically do 120% of their maximum health now. Against a tank who's running at you with 3,000 health, which isn't too much anyway, you're going to be looking at roughly 240 damage per second. Let's just go into the items specifically, because the build is a lot about why this actually works. Frost Queen's Claim is the first thing. A bit weird, right? Well, it's 2,200 gold. It's very cheap as an item. It gives you AP, cooldown reduction, 2 gold per 10 seconds, and 15 gold up to 3 times every 30 seconds when you hit someone. In theory, if you use it properly, it means you can earn 50 gold every 30 seconds and up to like an extra 1,000 gold over 10 minutes. That is a lot of extra gold. 1E is going to give you all of the 3 gold procs as well, so it's extra money basically. Ludens, you get extra AP, extra poke damage. Liandry's, the magic pen increases your high base damage and also burn to even more poke. The Void Staff, you get more pen for your base damage and all the AP you're stacking, and Death Cap as well would be multiplying all of it, or Medjai's, whichever you go for. Medjai's, just to point out, would be 20 plus 125 AP, so 145 AP if you get fed. It's an expensive risk, but it could be insane, and you do stay back right at the back as an Nasus and get a lot of health and armor and magic resist. So that's the item build out of the way. What about masteries? Well, there are a couple of choices. So 12-18, Thunderlords is the most common. Assassin, Mana Regen, Greenfather's Gift are the only like major things that are different, I guess, from a standard page. It seems to be the most common mastery page right now. It does add extra poke with his E. 12-18 with Storm Rages is actually really good for later, because you get off your damage, you run around super fast, and you kind of kite until your E cooldown comes back. It's not as good early at all, but it's like a mini ghost in teamfights, which is really good combined with the fact you already have a ghost and a flash probably. 18-12 is another option that I've been thinking about, Death by Touch. Now in my opinion, I think it will be really good late game, better than the other two. It's not something that many others are using right now, but it would add extra damage. The only problem is you don't stack a ton of AP with this, mainly penetration, so it's not going to be the best thing ever because you're not abusing the AP ratio. Runes are a little bit specific as well, so red's magic pen, yellow's health per level, blue's 3 magic resist and 6 scaling cooldown reduction, which gives you 10% at level 18. The quints are going to be AP. Scaling cooldown reduction is pretty important as well, in my opinion, if you can afford to get them. You only have Frost Queens for the cooldown reduction in the build, so you do need something else. For some of the spells, Flash, because you're basically playing him like an immobile mage, you need Flash. Ghost as well. Again, on immobile mages, it's another defensive summoner. It's really, really strong. Exhaust is for really hard matchups like burst matchups, Syndra, Zed, stuff like that, and cleanse as well against champions like Twisted Fate, where crowd control will lead to you dying. Now, the playstyle is not normal Nasus at all. So I don't want to go over the lane phase and the team fights very quickly. It's kind of simple, but you have to know what you're trying to aim to do. Early, you want to farm and poke with your E. Last hit with autos if you can do, and stack your Q if you get a chance, but it's not about your Q damage. You don't really want to take extra damage to stack that Q. It's not worth it. It's kind of just a farm fest. You poke with your E, you farm, you wait for your items to buff your E damage even more. Once you do get your ultimate, you can actually do a lot more damage, especially with rank 5 E. That is when you really want to start getting involved in the game more. For mid to late game, you really need to be kiting. I can't stress this enough with this build. You need to kite. It's not about running in and just whacking people with auto attacks on your Q like a normal Nasus. It's about using your E on people with her and running around until your E is back up again. Use your ultimate to survive and for more damage as well. Don't run so far away that you aren't using your ult tick damage around you like per second. You need to be kind of close but not close enough to take damage. You just E over and over, ghost to slow people like the spooky ghost from your Frost Queens, and that's about it, honestly. It's very simple to play, really. Like, your E is going to be most of your damage. As long as you don't run in and expect to survive like tank Nasus, you're going to be good. So this is something definitely weird, but I really wanted to show this off on its own because I think it deserves a spotlight. It's super fun to play. Hopefully you guys are going to have some fun with it as well. Thank you for watching until the end if you're still here, but for now, let's go to the robots.